Spent my first 4 work years there, and there's not honestly a single place out there I ain't worked. I'm definitely good with like, you know, doing multiple things, more high paced things. Did a little, and then did Pizza Hut, not Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars. I did security. Yes.
What was that like?
Oof. Mad funny and annoying. Dude, when I tell you security it shocked me to even be doing it. So basically how I got the job was I had a friend whose mom was the head of security at 10 Caps. But when they moved to the War Coliseum, they ended up hitting people up because they needed people. And my friend, I get a random call talking about hey, Mikey, we got this job and we need more people. And I was, and this person made me think of you. And she's like, you want to do security for Kevin Hart? You absolutely right, I do. So we end up I did security for him in Indy and Kentucky. First time I went, they called me to help him off stage. And they let me do it because, I mean, clearly I'm sure they found some dude was like four more feet taller than me. I'm like, bro, come on. I was right. Like, the distance from me to him was like this black screen to you.
Yeah.
Second time, I ended up holding the rails for him to exit, though. So I got to see like all the extra cuts from the Plastic Cup Boys. It's the Netflix special, the Irresponsible tour.
Okay.
So yeah, the one I did security for that. They offered me to do security for Nelly when he was in South Bend and American Ninja Warrior. I turned those 2 down. At the time, they weren't really giving me the hours and stuff I wanted. I told them I wanted to stay closer at home to my kid, you know what I mean? Because she was getting older and, you know, things were changing and whatnot. Also did the Indy 500. I about died out there. It was hot. And they had the audacity to tell us that we couldn't take nothing from the people. I'm black. You can't tell me that. I got asthma. Best believe I was taking water, chocolate covered pretzels, everything. I mean, not everything, but you know, within reason.
Right.
But for the most part, my work ended up changing from little petty jobs to more like serious stuff. So like I eventually wanted to build my career, work career, like more like my resume. So I ended up doing like tree service for like a year. I did gutters for like a couple months. And honestly, doing gutters ain't that hard.
No.
Not at all. And it's all cheap, low key. I did a little roofing with one of my ex's parents. Was a nice experience. We did like shackles, barn style. I mean, not shingles. But for the most part, now I ain't really been doing anything. Just taking care of my kid, trying to figure out my life. More so, get the things that I feel like I should have had when I was a kid. But I was under a lot of restriction. Like my mom, she wasn't super strict, but she definitely was strict in that aspect of wanting me to go the right direction. So a lot of the stuff that I wanted to dabble in, I decided to listen to her, and I feel like I should have definitely stayed on that path. I dabbled more into that stuff when I got to high school. So even in high school, yeah, I did end up starting to party more, but it was never that serious. I would have to say I didn't get drunk until like almost 21. Like, yeah, like I was that
Did you
good
smoke?
Oh yeah, definitely. Not super heavy though. I was the one friend that everybody wanted to smoke with, but I definitely I had no reason. I just was like, I'm cool. I mean, I ended up dating this one girl back in I think my junior year. She used to sneak out every morning. I thought she was going to see some other dude. I'm like, dang. But come to find out, this girl was sneaking out smoking every morning. I was like, bro, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I smoke too.
How old were you when you first started smoking?
I would say I was 13 when I first tried it. I was with my cousin, but it wasn't nothing like crazy. It was a couple puffs. And then I didn't touch it again until I was like 18. I was like, for real, that good kid. Like, I was in trouble to keep my homies out of trouble, but I still would be the one not in trouble. You know what I mean? I definitely had a mouthpiece. Definitely could talk myself out of trouble or other people. So, you know, I tried to keep me like a solid group of friends, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been that helpful person. Like, it's just, as much as I don't want to be sometimes, it's just in me. Like, I have no choice. I have, like, to me, I have to help. It's not all the time, though, because some people don't really know.
Oh, yeah. What was it for the college for the Gap? Did you feel like a certain guilt or something, or tripping, from being 13, hitting it? Or you like guilt, felt like a certain guilt? You're like, oh, I can't touch it?
No, it was just like, it was more so like me doing it for myself. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that it was something that I wanted to do. Given how I was raised with my parents and everything, it's like my mom was like good, you know what I mean? My dad was like, they were both good, but the aspects that I learned from them is I learned from my dad's mistakes and I learned from my mom's, not her mistakes, but more so the stuff she just tried to teach me. Her lessons, there we go.
Yeah.
And it's just I didn't feel any guilt for it. I just definitely wanted to not get caught up in all the other stuff around it. But for me personally, I'm not bad on it at all. I can 100% do everything that I normally do and be perfectly fine.
So you're a weed advocate, you'd say?
I would say so, but I don't like to promote it or anything like that. It's just a me thing, you know what I mean? But also, I don't go crazy with it. I don't need to smoke all day, every day. It's just something I use recreationally for like my gaming, my drawing. Well, I don't draw, I color. So, I do a lot of artsy type stuff, especially with my music. But ironically, I don't smoke when I write my music. And I also don't curse in my music either. I don't have a problem with it, but me personally, it just don't rock with me.
Oh, yeah. So, how many shows have you done?
I had one show, and it was with DJ Official. It wasn't that long ago. It was a decent time ago, but it was a little venue. My aunt had got a spot over at the the old BMV over on Wayndale on Old Trail Road. They took that old spot and they sometimes would rent it out for like vendors and whatnot. And my aunt happened to be the cook for that event. Her friend was the one running it. So I was able, at the time I was writing music, I wrote like 3 songs with Official. And we were working on those songs. And on top of that, a couple of other songs he had. So we put like a little showcase together. And I only had technically one show, but I did show choir. So I'm used to shows, show choir and dance. I'm always in front of people.
So does the crowd get you nervous at this point, or is it you'd be used to it if you were to jump out there right now? If someone had a big show, 500 people or something of that nature?
Oh, I can always go out there, no problem. But I'm always nervous.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does an everyday look like for you?
Honestly, I am very, very, very simple. When there's like, I'd say when it's just me, when I'm not dating, I'm definitely a little more outgoing, want to be adventurous, want to be outside more. Like, and I definitely do that. Like, but I don't like to go a lot of places. I feel like running in everywhere too much is a lot of money, a lot of strain on your mind, especially when you got important stuff to do. So honestly, I primarily stay at home, stay around the neighborhood. I definitely try to get out and kick it with the people who hit me up, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we're busy and it may not even be like literally busy. Maybe we mentally busy. Maybe we just don't got the time. And I definitely try to touch back on, people who hit me up and stuff like that. But for the most part, I play games, Call of Duty, Warframe, almost anything. I don't have no discrimination. I also spend a lot of time with my kid. The situation with her, she lived with her mom. So with her being in school and living so far, I can really only get her on the weekends. So it's usually like every other weekend or every 2-3 weekends, however we can do it. It was a long journey to get along with her mom, but it seemed like she's really trying to work it out. So I'm at least just trying to make sure that things go well.
Hell yeah, that's always good to hear, man.
It took a minute. It was definitely difficult to get my mind right on having and being a father. You know what I mean? It was mind-blowing, really. And then on top of that, I'm a great dude. But to have my baby mama and the way she was acting the way she was when we were young, boy, yeah. definitely gonna change some attitudes and
Yeah.
for real. That's why I had to start getting more serious with people because I was too naive, too nice, and it eventually trickled down to people running me over or not listening to me. I mean, granted, I'm not so you don't have to listen to me, but I mean, out of all the people, I feel like I would have a decent, open understanding and opinion or like advice to give. You know what I mean? I don't put too much of my personal emotions and what is it? What's the word?
You don't get too attached.
Yeah, essentially, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't get too attached. I'm more open about my wisdom that I give.
Oh yeah. Where do you want to see yourself in the next few years?
Oof, I would say I definitely want to be somewhere more involved with music. And at some point, I definitely want to get my kid more involved with music. Right now, she's doing cheerleading. And that's also a blessing to me because I used to do cheerleading. So I'm there 100% trying to help her, do her flips and whatnot. But I definitely want to be more stable for my kid. I definitely want to have more of a, not routine, but routine-ish, life. I don't like the whole surprises of having to do too much and everything. I'm definitely not for the negativity. I want to do great things, but truthfully, I just want to take care of my kid and live every day better. I don't want too much. Because honestly, me wanting anything, I feel like us as a species, when we want too much or want things that we think we need, it clouds our judgment and everything that we should be doing or may, have thoughts of doing in the future. So I try to definitely stay a little more focused on the present and what I got at task.
Hell yeah. What is your message to your fans, family, and everybody watching?
I would say,
Where can they find your music and everything like that?
Look, I would say go check the one song I got on YouTube. It's under Rad Passions, DNK, No More. It's me and my boy 17, tearing it up. I'm working a little more on my R&B. You shall see more music from me in the, future. Definitely not done. And also, everybody out there who's trying to find yourselves, stop listening so much to everybody. Because at the end of the day, your path is your path. No matter how similar your path is to the next man's, it's still not the same. And what works for the next person may not work for you. So 100%, do what you do and don't let nobody tell you any different.
Hell yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.